Okay. All right, this is Emmett Gregory from Middletown, Ohio, and you're a what year?
Senior.
A senior at Central State University in Wilberforce, Ohio. Mr. Gregory, what are your opinions on the fact that your school has been closed because of this disturbance?
Well, my opinion is that taking into consideration all the things that are involved, it was the best thing to do. Because due to the situation that came up, even though it was very small and a very small proportion of the students were involved, but the way the press built the situation up and the way the National Guard, and the patrolmen were treating the students that were innocent, it was the best thing to do.
Does it upset you at all that your education is being interrupted by this?
I think it upsets everyone that is concerned, but every student in the nation, regardless of what school he's at, is, all for vacation. So that's my opinion, though.
Well, you are a student leader. You hold an office in the student government. I know you can't speak for everyone, but what is your thought on how most of the students here feel about having the university shut down?
Well, I think they feel that it's unfortunate, and if they had all the information that could be given to them, that they would feel that it was the best thing to do. But at the time right now, I don't think most of them feel that it was the best thing.
Most students now feel that they're upset about the fact they have to go home, or not?
Well, I don't think they're upset about the fact they have to go home, because you have to take in consideration that they're college students, and if the school's right next door to us, or in Dayton, closed down tomorrow, well, the students would go home, it's vacation, so.
Why do the students, how do the students feel about the incidents themselves, or how do you feel about them?
Well, I feel that the majority of the students weren't for the situation and the issues that were at hand, because okay, the movement that started, most of the students didn't back it. It was a small majority, but then
Small minority, you mean?
Minority. Sorry about that. But when any issue was brought up, you'll find some outside infiltration. And then when this happens, well, the situation has to be controlled. And I think this is what happened on our campus.
Was that the case here, outsiders, or not?
Yeah, I think so.
Most students then were not in favor of the movement, as you put it. What is it? Well, how would you describe the movement? Black power, militant, activist, what?
No, well, I don't think so. Well, a small minority, I'll say. Okay, everyone, since we are Negroes, regardless of who you are, black power, it sounds good. It depends upon how it is produced and the issues at hand. But, and the majority of the people in the school may be for this, but it's how you approach the situation, whether you're for a certain movement or not.
Why do you feel that it was a wise move to shut down the school?
Because I feel they had to take in consideration the protection of all the students involved. Because we have commuters and out-of-state students, and this is a state school. We're on state property, and so why not, be concerned about each student? And I think this is what was done. And I think it was the best thing to be done.
Are you anxious to see the thing solved or resolved and get the school back open again?
Yes, I am, because I'm a senior and I want to graduate in March.
How might this affect your possible graduation in March?
Well, I doubt if it affects it much, because it's only 1 week out of school, and, finals will be given regardless, and so I doubt if it affects it a great deal.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Bob. Brenda Andrews, Cleveland, Ohio, a sophomore. Miss Andrews, how do you feel about the fact that the university was closed?
Well, I feel that it was a shame that it was closed for the fact that there's not much left of the quarter. Midterms were just about over, and I don't know what they're going to do about grades. So I feel that's really a waste of time, but I do realize that they had to do it for safety purposes.
Is this a case of a majority of the students being hurt by a minority, or is that not true?
I think this is true. It is a case
Of
of the majority being or by the minority.
What do most of the students feel, or at least your friends, the people you talk to about it?
Well, they feel that, well, most of the kids are against Groves, mostly for calling in the National Guard. They feel that if they had not, then all this commotion would have been prevented.
Would you like to see the school open again as soon as possible?
Yes, I would.
How does this affect your studies, your program?
It affects mine because I had 2 midterms this week.
Can you make them up?
I hope so. It depends on when school reopens.
Simple as that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is John Staton, S-T-A-T-O-N, senior from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Mr. Staton, what are your feelings about the fact that the university has been closed down?
Well, frankly speaking, considering all of the factors involved in the situation, mainly the protection of the student body, I think that it was the wisest decision that the president could make, in lieu of the fact that there were some rumors that the university was going to be met with some outside opposition, meaning that there were some possible infiltrators from other spots coming in to cause trouble here on the campus. And we did not want our university destroyed or defaced in any way.
As a student leader, what is your feeling? Does the majority of the students support this movement which resulted in this incident?
Well, at the outset of this quarter, I would say that the group in question existed in minority. However, since the quarter has gone on, the group has gotten stronger because of some of the things that have happened, in the administration, the way certain situations have been handled. I think that the group has grown in number, but in comparison with the entire student body, I think that it is still in a minority.
You said you felt that closing the school was in the best interest of safety and the students' welfare. Assuming that that's the case, how do you feel about the fact that the school had to be closed?
When you say had to be closed, what do you mean?
Well, that it was. What I'm getting at is, do you feel that the incidents which led up to this should not have had to result in the school closing? In other words, is it fair for all the students or what? That's what I'm trying to get at.
Well, when you take the situation in toto that has happened in the past 4 days, I personally feel that it could have been handled much better than it was. This situation did not need to result in the closing of this university. That's
But then the guard came, right?
Yes, and when you bring in State Highway Patrolmen in force and the National Guard in force, this in itself is enough to motivate people and to stimulate people to go against it, It was a bad move as far as I'm concerned.
As a senior, is this going to damage your graduation prospects at all?
I doubt very seriously if it will, because I presume or assume that school will be open after Thanksgiving, and probably the president will extend the quarter 1 week, and this will make up for the lost time.
So then, if I understand you correctly, you feel that this was a minority viewpoint which ultimately resulted in having the school closed? Is that accurate?
Yes and no. It was a minority in that the group, the individual involved in the situation, represented a minority. But the president's decision in the disciplinary case affected a majority of the students, in that a majority of the students felt that due process was not exercised in this case. And that's where you get the distinction between majority and minority. One is ideological. Both of them are ideological, but they're two different things.
Does the administration of this university honestly reflect the feelings of the student body, do you think?
Well, that's a rather difficult question to answer. I mean, it's a thought question. I couldn't answer that right now.
You're looking forward to the school opening so you can continue?
Yes, definitely. I think that the university should open its doors back up as soon as possible, because we need not have these things occur. This is a university, to me, is a community of scholars and should be conducted as such.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.